maybe just to do a quick recap, we started with this equation. We didn't start with, but we were kind of arrived at the experience equal to consciousness of the self plus some content or object. This one I'm borrowing it from Swami Sarvapriya. We discussed what all belongs to the content side. What is it that is something which you can thoughts,
experiences.
Okay, experience equal to consciousness plus content or object. So in the content, thoughts,
everything, all body, everything else.
Yeah, basically, actually, it is everything that we can say as this, or point out in some way, measure in some way, is content. And then we said, the Atma is that which is aware of it. Atma, consciousness, self, using it interchangeably.
So content can also be that which can be perceived with sensory objects. Okay.
Content is that which can be perceived as sensory objects, is one part of the content.
Is one part.
As thoughts is also content.
Included.
So we want to kind of put everything that you can in some way say has a name and a form is content. And again, we want it to be experiential, not very theoretical. So now you can say, okay, this theory sounds very good. We can separate the Atma from all the content. Then we saw 2-3 analogies. We saw the analogy of the screen and the movie, where the screen together with the movie playing is the whole experience. And then we said, the movie is the Atma, equivalent of the Atma or the consciousness, and the content is the characters in the movie. We also saw the waves and water analogy, in which each of the single waves is the content, but water is the substratum or the screen in which all of this is playing out. So that's how it's a nice analysis. We kind of broke it down, our experience. Okay, we can break it down in this way and so on. It was interesting. But somebody can come back and say, yeah, okay, in theory, whatever you're telling is good, but I still feel that I am a passenger in this body. We all say, okay, what are you? We kind of point to either here or here, something like that, some kind of a passenger in the body. But we said, you're not the body. Okay, you're not the body. You're not your personality. But I'm this bundle of all of this. That's a valid rebuttal to say, okay, you split me into these components and then you're telling that you're only the Atma, I'm not all of this. What do you mean by this? I'm all of this. So here, very important to be very clear that the Vedanta is not telling that all of those roles, body, all of this is not you. It's not telling it's not you in a very absolute sense. It's first trying to do two things. First is to show that apart from all of these things which we can see and measure, there is something. Just it's first pointing you to that. And then there is a further step to take to say that, but all of these are also in some sense a modification or of you only, of Atma. It cannot be, all of this is not God. Like God, if you use the word God, it becomes clearer. Everything is God is easier to understand. But now we kind of broke God down into the physical parts, the mental parts, and then the consciousness part, and then we are telling, oh, it's not just the consciousness part, everything else. We will come to that. But for now, we want to separate this out so that we kind of get more familiar with that part of which we have kind of forgotten. So that is the whole idea now. We are not, and they're not telling that, oh, this body and mind is not you. It's not essential to you. You could have been a bit taller. Nothing in your experience says that you couldn't have been taller, right? You could have been taller. You could have been born in some other place. All of this is possible. So everything which we can measure and touch and feel is, in some sense, not essential to you. It could have been otherwise. But that which is aware, that's something which you can't do anything about. It is there. So this is the distinction. Okay. Before we proceed, any thoughts on this? Anything which comes to you? Anything not clear?
So what we're saying is, what we, our constitution, the body, mind, so even that is not distinct from the Atma.
Yes. We will come to
So
that.
we will
Yeah.
have to arrive at that. We are not yet there. So everything that we identify ourselves with could have been different.
Correct.
And there is something about us which is unique. That is the Atma. And if we had been, say, born in Africa, like you said, we could have been taller, darker, whatever. So, but then, whatever the constitution was, would also be part of that is also Atma.
Correct.
There is no distinction, there is no separation at some level.
Yes. So all of these contents can be different. We will see what is the relationship between the content and the Atma.
Like
That's
for
really-
example, if somebody has an accident, gets an arm cut and amputated, or organ replacement or something.
Yeah, that's a very good example. Yeah, your eyes can be replaced with another eyes, even heart. But all of this is part of the content. Could have been different. So it's not that it's not you. It's not essential. It's not so important that it has to be that way. So that's what we are trying to see that,
So
when we
you is that unalterable part. Everything
Yes.
else can be altered.
correct, yeah. So this is not what I am telling. This is what
Not can be, it is ever changing.
it's ever changing also. It's not even like Ritu at 5-year-old and Ritu now is completely different. Like there is not a single cell in the body which is carrying from there to now. But we still feel
We are the same.
we are the same. So we have to account for that. What is it that which is the same? And then we saw, we also saw other theories. It said that, no, it's like a movie, like those films. It moves so fast that you think that you are the same, but they are not the same. You are like going in and out of existence every moment. So this is what the Shanikavadam is. And then we saw a good reason why that is not sufficient. Because even if you say that, you're going in and out of experience, there should be somebody who is noticing that, something noticing it. So that means that is a continuous medium which is there. So this part is
So I think in a way we are actually what we are trying to do is we are trying to discriminate between what is always present
Yes.
and constant and what is ever changing and moving. That's what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
Which in the Vedanta calls it like Viveka or discrimination. So we are
Correct. Viveka is discriminating the real
from the,
from the words real and unreal can be misinterpreted.
Yes.
yeah.
That which is eternal from that which is changing. That's a better way to put it. So we are not telling something is less real or more.
Yeah.
Or something which is luminous versus something which is illumined.
Yes. So that is what they say, Chit and Jaga. Chit is that which lights up, and Jada is that which is lit up. Lit up. But again, the word Jada has a very negative connotation. So, I mean, it's okay among people who knows what exactly it is, but otherwise Jada means as though it is something which you should.
No buddhi.
No buddhi, you can throw away, or but that's not the intention.
But again, in chapter 7 also, that verse very clearly, this is my lower self.
Correct.
Which are those 8 things, the Panchabhutas, and then the mind, intellect, and the
Ahamkara.
the ego. So all this, which keeps changing, which is there, that is my lower self. That means he's acknowledging that it exists. That means we acknowledge that it's not some, Mithya doesn't mean that it doesn't, it's a lie.
Correct.
It exists, but in a lower, it's a manifested form.
It's a manifested. It depends on the
Consciousness.
Yes, that's all it means. Nice. I think all of us are pretty clear on.
In the zone.
In the zone, yes, good, super. Okay, so here now, I think it's page 56, first paragraph.
At this point, one may ask, what is the relationship between the consciousness that illuminates and the contents of experience, such as perceptions and thoughts? Advaita, a non-dual philosophy, teaches that these experiences are not separate from consciousness. Rather, they are expressions of it, consciousness manifesting as thoughts, sensations, and perceptions. For a deeper exploration of this view, see Miri al-Bahari's Is Universal Consciousness Fit for Ground?
Okay, so this is again we want to go to the next step. We separated the content from the consciousness, and we also discussed that the content is not something which we can disregard or unreal or unimportant, but we need to kind of integrate it back into our experience. So this is the question which we ask. People will ask, okay, now you say your Atma is clean and pristine, no problem, all this is understood. But I'm living with not just the Atma, but with a lot of content. So you need to have some kind of an explanation of what is the relationship between these two, so that you can navigate this world well. So this question comes up, right? Otherwise, for happiness, you can say, oh, you're the Atma, no problem. But that's not our experience. Our experience is, oh yes, I'm Atma, but also there is all this content. So I need to navigate this content. What is the right approach? From the point of view of happiness. From Satchit Ananda. It's nothing different from what is said in the... So here, Shankaracharya explained it as, I referred to this philosopher Miri al-Bahari, because she has written a paper of what is the relationship between consciousness and content. Like a good philosopher, she has considered all possibilities and given. So this is for people who are interested in an intellectual understanding. So that's not so important, but I wanted to give credit to her because I have read her paper and I use a lot from that. But Shankaracharya's method of explaining this is called Adhyasa. Adhyasa is translated as superimposition. Not, okay, let's first discuss his idea was mutual superimposition. I will unpack that, what that means. Superimposition is a very simple idea. In the old days, it was like some spatika and a flower or something like that. So, what is the property of this glass is, it's clear. But once it comes, let's say, near the book, the glass appears to have some color and something in it. But this property of this kind of the sunrise doesn't belong to the glass. But when it comes near it, it seems as though it belongs to the.
Especially if it was flat.
Yeah, I mean here it's like a.
Yeah.
If let's say it was a very transparent piece of glass, it will look as though it is the property of this sunrise belongs to the glass. So this is what he called it as superimposition. A property which doesn't belong to it appears as though it belongs to it.
Another thing is this, in this case the book is outside of the glass, right? If you pour juice inside it, then it becomes very clear. Juice is the content of the.
Yeah, okay, that's another way to look at it. If you put some orange juice, it will look orange. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should have done that. So this is what he called it as Adhyasa. That means the property which belongs to the consciousness is superimposed on the object, and the property, this is called mutual superimposition, and the property which belongs to the object is superimposed on the consciousness. Experience.
How can a property belong to an object? That isn't really possible, no? Because everything is consciousness. Right?
Correct. We will come to that. So what he's just first trying to explain how this step by step. I think it's a very good question, but you have jumped
A little.
4 steps. So the property that belongs to the body, like a certain height, weight, size, gets superimposed on the Atma. Like this is one level of. It doesn't belong to the Atma, but it gets superimposed on the Atma. Number 1. Number 2, the property of the Atma also gets superimposed on the body. It's for now, like Jyotiji asked, isn't it all one? Yeah, it is all one ultimately. But here we're just trying to kind of split it and show why how the superimposition happens.
Sorry, Ivan.
Yes.
How did you arrive at the conclusion that it's all one?
How did I arrive at it? So where would it appear from? Where would the objects appear from?
If you look at it,
Yeah.
see what we did was, we said, this entire collection of all this head, arms, this, my thoughts, all of this is me. It's because we discussed, where am I? I'm not here. I'm not here. I am all of this. And I'm not saying that this is actually a lie, but it is something that keeps changing, but this is part of me. But what gives that quality that makes me think I'm all of this? Because consciousness pervades all of this entire thing, I'm not able to pinpoint and say I'm here or here. I'm all over myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all over myself.
Yeah.
And therefore, the assumption is that, or at least the hypothesis we can just state that without that conscious thing which is all over this menagerie of, or this collection of things which I have, all of this cannot function.
Consciousness is that which makes all of this part of the experience. Without consciousness, there is no experience.
The problem is the mind tells you it is contained only at the boundary of the skill.
Correct. So yes, that's a very that's the right thing which you already have said. So just bear with this. Let's go one step. So
I have a-
yes,
When you say that it's mutual superimposition, I understand the superimposition of Atman onto the object, but how is object superimposing?
okay.
Like for
Let's
example,
take
you
one
give
time.
that example with glass and juice inside the glass or glass against. We feel that the glass has the properties of the cover,
Correct.
but how does the cover
Have the properties of the glass. Okay. That was a limited analogy. Analogies have limitations. So that idea was to show that the properties of objects which are visible, measurable is getting superimposed on consciousness. But what is consciousness giving to the property? The ability to be experienced. So without consciousness, it will never be experienced. I think if you take the example of the body and Atma, it will be clearer.
No, but that is understood. That the element of consciousness that pervades and we are able to have that experience because of consciousness, I think we have understood that. I think what he's saying is, how is the consciousness actually superimposing?
Yes. I'm coming to that. If you take our body and mind, the properties of the body and mind getting superimposed on the consciousness is clear. That's like the juice getting superimposed on the glass. So this one is very clear. But if you see, we also know that we exist. Like you never feel that you are, in some sense, you feel that you are continuous. You are always the same. So there is, even though we theoretically know that our body is going to die or we are going to die, we also think a lot of times that we are kind of eternal and same. That
We think we are going to die, yet we question where will we go after death. So that itself means that the journey continues.
there is some, that's correct. There is some element in us which feels that we are eternal.
There's some element which feels that I am the same that I was when I was in first standard.
Yeah.
I am the
Yes.
same now. I was the same yesterday.
Yes.
So
Correct.
that is
So there is an element which says that you are the same.
yeah.
Although you can see that the size is different.
Yeah, we don't.
So every
Even
property-
there's something
We don't
inside.
yeah.
We actually in our minds we discount how we look,
Yes.
how we looked, what we wear. We always think that we are the same.
Or the
In spite
hair
of
is
all this.
grey
Doesn't matter.
than before.
Yeah. We feel that we are the
Under
same.
you feel the same.
See, when
Great.
you go back, when you go to your memories and say, okay, when I looked at my grandfather, I used to walk with him or something like that.
Still we feel
You
the
still
same.
feel that, now I am looking at my grandfather and walking with him. I don't see that now what I am and what I am looking at him, that person is different.
It's
I
the
feel the
same.
same.
Right? Is
Yeah.
everybody getting clear that it's the same? Whether during 25 years ago what you were and what you are now, there is an element of continuity. Where is that coming from? That is the property of the Atma that is getting superimposed on our body. Is it? It's the mutual superimposition is the temporary things we put it on the Atma, and from that point of view say, this is going to die and this is changing and so on. And the unchanging aspect we also superimpose on ourselves, whatever we think we are.
Correct.
Even though I have grown, I feel I am the same.
Yeah. So
That imposition
So
is...
that is coming from the Atma onto what you think we are, and then the other way from the what we think we are to the Atma. It's like a mutual superimposition. So this is the explanation Shankaracharya
Goes
came
to
at.
show how intertwined the whole system is.
Correct.
You are not able to actually separate it easily.
It couldn't have been anywhere else. For it to function the way it is functioning, and that's the beautiful. It couldn't have been anywhere else.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Did you get that?
Yeah.
So even so this one I'm just explaining this whatever you just said in a little bit more.
Okay.
Even you know that Earth is moving around the sun, you will always see that the sun is rising and setting. Even if when you know the truth, there is no change in your experience. It couldn't have been anything else. So that's what it means by, like, if the Atma and experience, it is what it is. We have been doing this superimposition and calling this eternal thing as non-eternal, and then imposing the qualities of the non-eternal onto the eternal. But that's even if you know this, nothing will change. Our experience is going to remain exactly as it is, but we will know it. That means we're not going to get fooled by it. That's all.
Yeah, it's like probably, if you pour orange juice inside the glass, what you see is only a orange glass. To be able to see the glass, you have to again pour it out, pour the orange juice out. Only then can you see the empty glass again. Until then, it will remain as orange glass only.
Correct.
But certain traumatic events do kind of show you that light.
Coming to a traumatic event,
That's the heat.
that suddenly if you change this thing, the whole thing becomes, and then it exposes, then you see a few things that you wouldn't normally see
Correct.
in a normal event. That's why you suddenly get, you get this, epiphany.
Awakening.
You can also get epiphanies from traumatic events.
Traumatic
There is
event.
no.
I say that, it can
No,
happen.
but there are quotes like, the wound is where the light enters, which is what it means, There has to be a break somewhere for all these things to start seeping in.
Yes, correct. So this whole idea of all our discussion is all about like making those little cracks to let the Atma shine.
Zen Buddhism is the foundation of that, is to shake you out of your stupor, The master does something crazy that, your
Mind
stops and you.
And it is the
start
same,
to-
like that one, like if you brought this Gita chapter 7 here. So we are talking about, all of these are talking about almost the same thing.
Yeah, they are. And it's amazing how much thought has gone into this. We are trying to discover this. But there are people who spent lifetimes thinking through, what wonderful conclusions they come to. And then you see how they all put it together.
Not conclusion, these things are there. They are
Yeah.
able to unravel the mystery of it.
Yeah.
Correct. We are not even finding something new. It's
Yeah,
just there.
it's
Just
just
recognizing
there.
it. That's it.
Recognize it.
So one more thing. So in Kena Upanishad, so this question comes up, like, okay, you have the consciousness now coming back to why it is, we will explain. We'll try to explain. I don't have an answer now. It will probably come. They say that in Kena Upanishad, they have a statement called Pratibodham Viditam Matham. That means every cognition or every experience which you have, experience of the body or the thought or feeling, is Brahman. That's how it should be understood as. So the relationship, what is the relationship between the content and consciousness? The content is consciousness. There is not different. So it's the Atma which looks like each of these cognitions. And this is the most trickiest part to understand. So the way, I don't know how to explain, but let's say there are two people who are looking at something. One is colorblind, another one is normal. So the colorblind person cannot see red and green. The one next to him will be talking. They're talking about the same thing, which appears slightly different. Then maybe now you put a dog, which is also looking at the same thing. We don't know how the dog is going to perceive it. Probably the dog will perceive it completely.
There will be some extra colors probably in the vision of the dog.
If you put a bat there, it doesn't have eyes, so it will be only sensing some echoes or sounds. So what we are telling is everything that we perceive is filtered through our equipment, so-called,
And experience.
and previous experiences.
No, there is that story, that there are 5 blind men, they are touching the elephant.
Mhm.
The one who looks, gets the trunk, says that it's like a snake.
Yes.
That kind
This way we can say, but no, okay, that's also another good example. But here I'm trying to say is, if there are 5 people with different equipments, looking at the same thing, let's say,
Okay, not different parts of
not
the
different
elephant.
parts of the elephant, they're just looking at the same thing, it will appear differently. So this is whatever we perceive in the world is filtered through our equipment. So to answer this question which you asked, anyway it's all the same. So what do you mean by this mutual superimposition, right? I mean, only if there are 2 things we can say that, oh, this is superimposed on this and that is superimposed on this. So here what we're trying to say is, oh, there is only the Atma, but then when it is viewed through different equipments, it looks different. So the superimposition is more like, is a result of how we are able to perceive.
But isn't the equipment also?
Equipment also is Atma, that's again, step by step. So if the equipment is also, so it's the Atma which is also like, we have this, that's why the Panchabhutas, right? And the 8 things which Vishti was talking about. The 5 elements, mind, intellect and ego. So all of these are kind of considered all these tanmatras, these basic elements. So all of this combined, we get the equipment, and through the equipment, the Atma looks at itself, and it looks like.
It's really an intricate game.
Yes.
It is, and also coming back to that pudding, you're seeing the form of it when it is in the fridge, solid form.
Mm-hmm.
But as it starts melting, then it becomes gas. You can't. So it was a pudding. Then it became this. So that unmanifest, extreme level of unmanifest to manifest. It's a continuum of the same thing that you can see. That when it goes in the gas, you don't know where it is gone. Because
Water is a much better example.
Water
is easier to
Then
think.
it evaporates also.
It evaporates.
Pudding won't probably evaporate.
Ice, liquid water, and
Yes.
water vapor.
Water
vapor.
It's all the same thing. So or in the Indian philosophy, we will call it as Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, right? These are not 3 different things. Same thing only.
it's a state.
The same thing appears clear and bright. It's Sattva Guna. That which is like a lot of activity and dynamism of that, it becomes Rajoguna. It becomes dark and stagnant, we call it Tamoguna. It's a different, another way of telling the 5 elements and the 3 different, the ones which belong to the gross body, we call it as Tamas. The ones which belong to the subtle body is more of the Rajas and the dynamism. And Sattvic will be the one which is clarity. And then we say the Atma is Gunatita. That means like what? It's beyond these 3. That means it is based on which all of these three happen. But you cannot say that it is any of particular of this. It's all of this.
Says no in Gita, I am in all of them, but they are not in me.
Yeah.
In fact, in chapter 9, we are going to be doing it from next month. There are two verses, and I was struggling with those two verses, trying to get the meaning, trying to explain how it is. In one verse, he says, everything rests in me. All the objects of this universe rest in me, but I am not affected by them. The very next verse, he says, they don't abide in me. See my Maya. The reason is, first is he acknowledges that they are the material world, they abide in me, which is what we just talked about.
One kind of superimposition.
Yeah, one kind of superimposition. The second one, he's also acknowledging that they are actually also Brahman.
Correct.
And how can they abide in me?
Because ultimately it has to come to they are.
Them. So
and
They
it is
cannot be tainted by these
qualities. Yeah.
And it is nothing illogical. We are not making an assertion, or it's not any superstitious statement. This whole thing derives from the idea that there is only one reality. And the reason why one reality is important is, if there are two realities which completely are different, that means the one reality A has nothing to do with reality B. That means they cannot even interact. That means we won't even know that there is a reality B, and it will not interact with us in any way. So we don't need to worry about it because it's unknowable. So our reality which we have is one reality. So it's not a superstitious thing. It's logically that is the one reality which we want to work with. And within that one reality, we are trying to explain how things are interconnected and all those things. And then that's why we said, this one reality, when viewed through our equipment, looks as these multiple names and forms. And then we wanted to find out what is the relationship between those names and forms and this reality, and so on.
Theoretically, even knowing that there is only one reality, believing in it, yet in the outside world, not liking this or liking that, it's how will it ever happen that we can translate that knowledge?
It is more like, okay, the way I will put it is, I'll again go back to the sun and the earth analogy. We know that the earth is moving around the sun, but it looks as though that the sun is moving around.
Rising and setting.
Yeah. So if you want to launch a rocket to the moon, if you want to do something like that, then we need to worry about whether it is, or we have to take the correct interpretation that it's the earth which is moving and do the calculations accordingly. But if you want to write poetry, it's perfectly fine to talk as though there is a sunset, right? And we can enjoy it. Or we want to go in the evening and enjoy the sunset and talk among friends, we can do it. So it's not that enjoying the poetry is wrong. But if you try to launch a rocket using your poetry, then you will fall into trouble. So enjoying the world as it is, with its myriad of names and forms, is totally fine. But if you think that,
But the suffering is also
but the
there.
suffering comes because if you think that you are this little body and mind.
Yeah.
But if you can get out of that little ignorance of thinking that you are the body and mind, but you are the consciousness, then you can have all the interactions with this world from that perspective. So you don't have to give up on any of this. It's just a slight change in mindset.
First, yeah.
But if, let's say, when you're going to play a game or something like that, you cannot go and say, oh, I am the consciousness. You just need to act as though you are the single body mind. If there is a car coming down the street and you're standing there, just move out. It's all fine. Then there you cannot say, oh, I'm the consciousness, that's the consciousness, nothing is going to happen. Oh, these are two different.
I remember R.S. Ravi, when we first went into the satsang, he told me, so you'll be learning some very esoteric, you'll get a lot of knowledge and things like that about this. So after this, when somebody asks you who you are, you continue to say your wish. Don't say I am Brahman.
So, once you know it within us, then it becomes easier to navigate the world. That's all is the difference.
Yeah.
You can enjoy everything.
How do you remember all of this? Say, you learn something today, and you learned something in the last session.
Mm-hmm.
Some part of it you retain, some part of it you forget.
Mm-hmm.
Now to really understand this, you have to remember all of this.
You can't. Okay. There are 3 steps to this. Usually in Vedanta, you'll have 3 things they will say you need to do. One is Shravana. That means we talk, we listen, and then discuss. That is Shravana. Oh, what is it that what is it that the wise ones are trying to say? Then there is the Manana, which is like, now it's like, all this, we ask this question, say, how is this possible, how is that possible?
Is it true? All
Deeper
this.
into it.
So then it becomes, okay, I seem to be getting it. So that's the Manana part. And then the third part is the most important, which is living that. That's called the Nididhyasana. People translate it as contemplation, meditation, but it's basically what it means is bringing that into our day-to-day.
There also, I feel when you bring it into day-to-day life, start with the easiest first, and then go deeper into it. It's not easy to suddenly say, I love Trump or something. Start with the easier things first.
Yeah. So
And then
memory is not. Are we listening to it correctly? Have we heard what was said correctly? Secondly,
and
have we understood?
Listening also. I
Have
feel
we-
repetitive listening.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have we understood what was being said? That's the second thing. Third thing is, how do we make it my reality? Now the point is that just like those, those traumatic events that happen, every class must result in me getting an epiphanic episode where, aha, this is what it means. Now how do I take that aha moment and live through it? There is no memory required. If I keep remembering what Shivji said, then it will just go round and round in the mind only.
It's not an intellectual.
It's not an intellect.
But we use the intellect to kind of get to
get to the reality.
Grasp.
That's all in it. You don't remember it. That's why we come back to why do we read Gita 10 times? Because the one time we read it, we find something. Second time we read, it meant something else. So that's why the RRE is so important. You're not required to remember every aspect of it. If you remember it, it will remain in memory only.
But memory is part of the content.
Yeah, memory.
But we are not interested in the.
We are not interested in the content.
Ultimately, not interested in the content. But there is another one. Nididhyasana also has a little bit of a contemplation or a meditation. That's what we do in our like the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is what we have read. Now, if you listen to what actually I'm telling, I'll just kind of repeat whatever we have discussed in a more calm setting.
So does it mean that it doesn't matter what I understand at different points in time, but every experience is all that matters. Any experience that I'm going through is all that matters.
In the here and now, you can always bring from any experience, you can go back to the Pratibodham Viditam Matam. That means every cognition is to be understood as Brahman, as God.
And when the experience matches what you have heard, it kind of solidifies.
Correct. Then it becomes like your own.
It also means that it doesn't have to match. If the experience matches, then it means that memory is important. It's only the experience. So memory doesn't matter here.
Yeah, memory doesn't matter.
So it's every experience. It's just the experience.
That's all.
Yeah, that your understanding gets clearer.
And when you bring that experience from memory again, then it's no experience. It's like
It's not a different experience. It's not an experience at all.
It's not an experience at all.
Even if you cannot even say it's a different experience.
It's not
It is something like cycling only. After you try it a few times, you can just cycle. The balance is natural. You don't need you cannot be remembering how to cycle.
Yet there was something
There is something is there.
needed to be learned, but once it goes in, you don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
It means there is no difference. You won't see any difference with anything at some point in time. So with your thoughts,
That's the eventual thing you have to reach.
with your thoughts, with anything that you experience, there is nothing. There's only experience after some time.
Yeah.
So,
Which is our experience now, right? What evidence do we have that we have objects outside? All of this appears in experience only, right? We kind of made it into a convention to say, oh, this is external, this is internal. But that's just only a convention. You don't have to believe it. But for transactions, that's okay. We have to live with it. But that's not. There's no evidence that there is something outside of our experience, because all that we see and experience is only within experience.
That's
It
the whole
means
object,
that-
no? That's what they say, that when you're sitting and contemplating, are you able to experience anything always for the first time and never from a memory? That means if I have an experience, it's the first time. Then am I able to do that every time I have an experience? That it's always for the first time.
it's very liberating to think memory is irrelevant.
Okay,
For
it's
transaction
not okay.
purposes,
Let me put it this way. When you say it's irrelevant, it's kind of telling that ultimately we are not interested in the memory. It's like, oh, we have learned to cycle, but we still need. Oh, okay, we need to have a cycle. We need to get up on the thing. Those steps are needed from memory until you have learned it. After that, it's auto. So it's not like, oh, we don't care about memory at all, but memory and thinking are something which takes you there. After that, you can drop it.
Yeah, so
Memory becomes a part of you.
Yeah, that's what. So the thing is, when you try to learn a bicycle, your hands, legs are not coordinating with the bicycle well enough to keep it in place. But when you have learnt it, somehow all of these seem to adjust the orientation with the bicycle to be part of the bicycle itself, to just balance it very well.
Are you
Part of the bicycle?
right now you're making all this talking, right? You're just talking. Are you making an effort to talk? The words just come out, right? Like it's coming out, the words. Like you're not like, I'm not thinking what next word is coming out. It's just coming out. It's not like I'm memorizing this and telling this from memory, trying to recall. It's just coming out. So it's like that. It will just so this becomes a natural way of living.
Yes. And yet these words won't come out if he's attending a meeting in Ola.
Correct.
That's
It
a
won't come.
different set of words will come out.
Yeah.
No, I've always had two names. One is called Kala and then another one is called Brinda. Right? So from my childhood, always at home people call me Kala. Outside of home people call me Brinda. So over the years, it's become easy for me not to identify with Kala or with Brinda. When someone says, I will think a little bit, okay, should I become Brinda or should I? Okay, let me be. So it's, in a way, everybody should have more than one name, you know. Then it's easy to step
Then you
back.
start from scratch again.
Correct. You step back every time. Okay, let me be
You
this.
should write a poem about this.
Maybe that's what they do. No, when in our tradition, when somebody takes sannyas, no, when they take sannyas,
Then they change the
they
name.
give up everything, including the name,
No,
form.
then they'll give Sarvapriyananda to that sannyasa.
No, also when a woman gets married, she gets a new name
Yes,
because
some-
they want to
in
leave the
not-
associations of the older
Correct.
name behind. And
That other Jyoti, there's a Jyoti Sapra, she used to be Ganga earlier, then the name changed.
Okay, let's do a 10-minute
Yes.
meditation. Let's close our eyes if that's comfortable. Let's become aware of the full range of experience, everything in the content. The weight of our body, the breath, the cool air around us, the sound of the air conditioner. Any thoughts? Any general feeling of pleasantness, unpleasantness? We are aware of the entire range of our experience. For the moment, we are not going to focus on any particular content, but let the whole content just remain. Notice that you are aware of the content. We are going to be interested in that which is aware of the whole content. That which is aware of the whole content is your essential self. Let's take our stand as our essential self, as that which is aware of all the content. Notice that everything about the content is changing. You are the unchanging awareness in which all these changing contents appear. Notice the sound of the bird. And notice the sensation of your body touching the chair. The bird has stopped chirping. So now switch to the sound of the air conditioner. The sound of the air conditioner and the sensations in your body, both of these are content. You, awareness, are aware of both the bodily sensations and the sound of the air conditioner. We consider the bodily sensation as mind or internal, but we consider the sound of the air conditioner to be external. That is okay in the conventional world. When you look at your experience closely, there is nothing about the experience which says the sound of the air conditioner is external, whereas your sensations in your body or the sound of the gurgling of your stomach, the rumbling of your stomach is internal. Both are sensory experiences. If some thoughts arise, let it come and go. Let's stay as awareness for a couple of more minutes. every cognition that arises in you consciousness. Become aware of your breath. The bodily sensations, the surroundings. And when you're ready, take your time. When you open your eyes.
Good.
Empty.
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 That's perfect. Consciousness empty of content.
Is that ever possible?
That is what
That's what
we
say.
talk about as nirvikalpa samadhi. I don't have never experienced it, so I can't talk about it. But consciousness in the presence of, to take the stand of as consciousness in the presence of content is called Sahaja Samadhi. That's, I think, possible for all of us. Okay, time for coffee.